Hey, what's going on everyone? Gumby here. Today I'm bringing another benchmarking video. You guys seem to like the one that I did for Fallout 4 for my Razer Blade 14, and I'm going to be doing basically the same thing. Not as much leading up in this video since I talked about my actual computer, what I use it for, why I like it so much, and the internals at the beginning of the Fallout 4 video. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll put the link in the description, and I'll also put a little button right on the screen now. So you can click that and go straight to my Fallout 4 benchmarking video. So I'm just going to briefly go over the internals and what I'm going to be doing. Basically, I'm going to be doing the same tests that I ran for the Fallout 4 benchmarking video on my Razer Blade. For my on-the-go laptop, I'm using a Razer Blade 14. It's a 2014 edition, so it's a little older hardware. I have an i7 4th generation CPU, 8 gigabytes of RAM, an NVIDIA 870M GPU, and 256 gigabyte solid state drive. So those are the internals that I'm running against. And then the test that I'm running is I'm basically doing four graphics tests for 720p and then 1080p resolution. So I'm running the game on low, medium, high, ultra on both sets of those resolutions. So I'm doing 8 tests in total. I also do a little bonus test where the actual native resolution of the laptop, I believe, is 3200 by 1800. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I ran the game quickly on low settings with that resolution, and I quickly found out why it's not a good idea to run in the native resolution. The FPS just drops so much. You'll see at the end of the video if you stick around. I think I was getting like 30, minimum 40 frames per second, and that's at the low graphics quality, so it's just not worth it. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move on into the actual test now. So first I started with running low 720p. I'm getting 60 plus easily. I mean, I'm really getting into the hundreds of frames per second. It runs really smooth. Running this test, I realized that even though I'm getting such good frames, because of how high it is, I know that I can get a much better frame rate with, well, not much better frame rate, but better graphical experience. So moving on to 720p medium, I'm getting 60 plus the whole time. You can see I'm not getting those 100 frames like I was running low. I am when I'm in an open area, but a closed area with my teammates, I was getting closer to 80. But that's still really good acceptable frame rate with a little bit of better graphic quality, so I even want to push it higher than that. Moving on to 720p running high, I'm still getting above 60. I mean, this is amazing. I'm getting 60 to 80. I think I capped 90 at one point. So it's really impressive how well the laptop is running even on such a higher graphical intense as high on this game. Next is Ultra. I think the lowest I saw my frames per second get to was only to about 58. So I'm really 58 to 60 plus, and I was averaging above 60 pretty much the entire time. And you're getting the ultra graphics that Battlefront has to offer. And guys, this is a beautiful game. I talked about it in my review video. If you haven't seen that, I'll also put a link in the description. But you're running the game on ultra graphics at 720p resolution, so it's not 1080, but it's a beautiful game, and you're able to experience it on a laptop that you can just take on the go and play wherever you want. Moving on to 1080p. So this is the first test that I did for full 1920 by 1080p resolution. It's running on low at the moment. I'm getting 60 frames consistently. I think at this point, because I switched to 1080p, I switched VSync on. So you're only seeing in the fraps in the top left 60. So I'm probably getting above 60 easily, but because VSync is on, I'm getting capped at my frames per second to 60. So you're seeing it's 1080p resolution. It's good quality. The graphics are still low, and since I know I'm getting above 60, I want to push that even higher. So we're moving on to medium settings at 1080p. I was getting an average of 55 to 60 frames per second, so that could be, like I said, VSync is on. It's probably going above 60, but it did dip to as low as 55 that I saw. So 55, 54. So still, it's better graphics than low, obviously, because you're running on medium, and then you're getting a really good frames per second quality. Moving on to high. So I was getting a look to here. This is right when I started seeing my frames dip. You're getting 40 to 51. I didn't really hit 60 again while I was playing on higher graphics at 1080p. I kind of expected it. This was same with Fallout 4 where it started to drop. And then when you move on to Ultra, that's when, yeah, it's still definitely playable. It's actually running more efficiently than in Fallout 4 where I was in the 20s for my frames per second when I was running 1080p Ultra. So this one you're seeing, my frames are about 35 to 41. It goes a little bit higher than 41, but I averaged it around 40, so that's where I kept it. Game's still running really smooth. I'm not getting any latency when playing multiplayer, but you're not getting the crispness of 60 frames per second, but it's definitely still playable. And you're getting 1080p resolution at ultra graphics. This game is beautiful. I love how well the laptop can run this game. And then this is that little bonus clip I was talking. So you're getting around the same frames per second on ultra 1080p as you are in low 1800p. So that's what I want to talk about. But summarizing the video, like I said, I did 8 tests. I did low, medium, high, and ultra for 7 resolutions and also the 1080p resolutions. I prefer playing in 1080p, and that's what I do on my desktop. But for this laptop, unless you're hooking it up to an external monitor, I think 720p is fine because you have a 14-inch screen with 720p. It's still, you know, high definition, so it's not 1080p, but you're still getting a high definition quality. And because the screen is only 14 inches, the objects come in a little bit larger. So to me, when I'm playing on the 14-inch screen and I don't have my laptop connected to any kind of external monitor to make it larger, 720p is actually a perfect size because of just being able to see everything. And I found in 1080p, especially on maps like Endor, when I was playing against the Rebels, or even when I was the Rebels and the Stormtroopers stick out a little bit better, at 1080p, the character models seem just a little bit too small, and I seem to miss them more than I normally do when I play on my desktop on my larger 27-inch screen. So I like 720p myself, and you can comfortably run ultra settings at 720p resolution with this laptop. You can comfortably run it at 1080p as well, but you're going to be averaging around 40 frames per second, where with ultra, you're still at 720p, you're still averaging around 60 frames per second, which is perfect. You don't need anything more than that, and you're getting the full experience graphically of Star Wars Battlefront, and you're also getting a nice, smooth, buttery experience in terms of your gameplay because of the amount of frames per second that you're getting. I'm very, very happy with the performance of this game on a portable laptop like the Razer Blade 14, and I'm surprised. I'm excited that I can play this game that I take around, play it for an hour or so, and then I can just do it on the go on this laptop and not suffer any performance issues besides, just playing at a lower resolution. But like I said, I prefer that on something that has a screen size around 14 inches or smaller. But anyway, that's basically going to wrap up this benchmark video. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps a lot. I don't do any of these videos for money, but I do it out of enjoyment. And when I see that the videos are helping you guys, or you're enjoying it and using it, it means a lot to me. So if you want to see more videos like this, I'm thinking about doing some kind of benchmark series with my laptop. So let me know if you have any game suggestions. I'm going to try to do some of the new games coming out, but I think I might throw it back to some older games too to just see how they stand up with this newer hardware. But anyway, I hope your day is beer and Skittles, guys. And as always, thanks for tuning in.